Alright guys, welcome back to VHP Engines again. So, yeah, I just wrapped up the H22 video, and there was something I was going to say in that I was, that I forgot to say, and undoubtedly this is going to be something I get in the comments on that video about the doing like a stroker setup, switching out crankshafts. I only lightly went across the information there, but when I started to get into it, I realized that you are playing with the possibility of using custom pistons because of dome height, or getting a specific head gasket to make sure that you don't have piston to valve contact and all that shit. And once I got into it, I realized it's going to be a lot more technical. So while I may do that video, it's definitely going to be its own thing if I do that video. And I just, for most of you guys know, for the most part, that watching here, that I like to keep shit simple, and something that any beginner can pay attention to detail can do a rebuild like that for what I just covered, for maximizing gains out of just a regular old H22, like a stock one, as compared to doing something crazy custom, which will take a lot of extra work and might not really gain you that much extra power. And I think that by covering this topic here, the G23, most people, excuse me, I'm fucking spitting everywhere, and most fucking people aren't really going to mess with, or not going to really want to mess with the H22 if you're looking at maximizing gains in A from what the H family is. Now, of course, we're talking about the G23. And yes, for you guys who are going to keep asking, I am going to talk about all of the H and F family. Eventually, we will cover all of them. I will go over all of them. But right now, we're going to do this. So, I played around with compression numbers again for all the basic, for your basic setups here, and came up with the idea for what would be good for what. And some of you guys have been following the import magazines like I have been. I've been following and collecting them since I think late 08. Right around the time I joined the Army, I had already grown a fairly sizable stash of magazines. And then, like in El Paso, I wound up getting a whole bunch of back orders. So there's a couple of G's that pop up in the articles there. There's one that the guy made 240 some horsepower, I think, off of it. But he used forged pistons, and I'm really searching for maximizing gains using stock pistons to duck around the whole. Well, I guess no, not really. Shit, here I am fucking myself up. If you're using the F23 block, you're not have to worry about the whole. You don't have to worry about FRM sleeves. That's one of the big fucking pluses for using the F23 block. All right, so you can use custom fucking pistons, or forged pistons at high compression, and really boost the fuck out of power. But I like to use OEM parts here. Well, most of you do. So we're just going to take a look at what this guy did. I'm just going to summarize here, and I'll leave a link in the description to this article. I don't remember when this magazine came out. I'm fairly certain I have this magazine stashed in my bin somewhere, but there's no reason to be pulling that out when the internet has it already stashed and saved. The guy has a pretty clean ass fucking CRX. He used F23 block, H22 head, chipped P28. Transmission's just not important. 86mm K20 Type S pistons. So that's stock Type S pistons. All right. Skunk tube Pro 2 cams. Crower dual valve springs. Crower retainers. Ported polished head. K20 RBC intake manifold. Now, for you guys that don't know this, yeah, you can use the K20 intake manifold on the H22. All right, but I think you got to do some shit, to make it work. Not so much fitment, but just routing shit around. Anyway, I don't think that would be like a main staple. You don't have to use the K20. You can just get any aftermarket H22 shit. I guess it just depends on how much you want to work. Now, with just that basic setup, valve train, cams, Type S pistons, let's see, 253 wheel horsepower. 253 wheel horsepower. That's mad impressive out of anything that's not a K series, and that's not a very expensive build. Well, I see his car overall gets expensive because of, LSD and shit like that he used. But other than that, for engine wise, long block wise, yeah, it's not expensive at all. Let's see. Now the only thing I'm not seeing here is if you use fucking pump or E85. Shit. Fuck. Anyway, I'm gonna keep digging here to see if I see that, because fuel's a big thing for me. I definitely want to know how much power he made on this shit, and I don't know why I didn't think about doing that or checking that before I started fucking making this video. But anyway, just that way you can see what compression numbers are. Here I have some different ideas. I stashed them. I wrote them down. Okay, so G23. You can use the K20 pistons. Now, of course, if you know, K20 has two different type pistons. They have the shit from the base model, A3 pistons. Then you got your A2, which are higher compression, or you could just use the straight up stock F23 block, which you wouldn't want to do. The stock F23 block with the H22 head will make you 8 to 1. It's really low compression. You're not going to make much power there. So, you know, you can, if you're really on a super budget, like let's say you just have random parts like I do laying around in the fucking shop, and you want to, you know, get some shit out of that, you could use the K20A3 pistons and it'll bump you up to 10.3. But the only problem with that being is 10.3 is kind of like what the, I guess it's kind of close to what the Type S is. Like if you were to use Type S pistons in an H22 block, it's right around that compression. Let me double check again real quick. I know I still have that shit open. Well, no, it's a little bit lower. It's the K20A3 pistons would be 10.3. Type S pistons in H22 is 10.8. So you won't be making the kind of power that you'd like to make. But on the upside for that, here to look at that, a beneficial side. Let's say you're gonna build this G and you want to build all stock parts and you want to boost. So I would say that the A3 pistons would be a nice bet to go with, because you're not getting super low, but you're not getting super high, so you should have a peppy response to turbo spool up. Now, if you want to really like make something like really quick, but you're not looking for super high power, then you can go with a smaller turbo and that higher compression ratio and get something that's really snappy and really responsive. But I just wouldn't expect like a super high 400 horsepower car out of that. And then if you go with the A2 pistons, you're looking at 11.51. Now, if you did watch the H22 video I just mentioned earlier, there was a 242 horsepower H22 that was making that kind of power at 11.5. So, plus just seeing this article here, you know, okay, I guess that answers my question right there, because when I was, the one on Evans Tuning's website has, the guy made 242 horsepower, 11.51 compression, 93 octane. So I think it's safe to assume here that 253 horsepower with the port and polish in those pistons is definitely achievable. Now imagine what the fuck you could do is if like you really hiked up the compression like 13 or 14 to 1 and ran 85. I think you could fucking get damn close to 300 horsepower in a, if not. And I'm pretty sure that one of you guys is going to come across here and tell me that there's guys out there making 300 horsepower. So yeah, I definitely believe that. I definitely see that as something that's doable. I think it's possible. So yeah, if you want to stay NA, like if you really want to maximize power NA, it looks like the G23 may be your best way to go, simply because of the fact that OEM pistons can get you into mid 200s. And if you really want to go fucking balls out, you can go with forged pistons, and you don't have to worry about the hassle of the FRM sleeve controversy shit. So you can get higher compression much easier with the G23 with less hassle. You can spend way less money, because an F23 block, you know, can be forgotten for nothing. You can get a long block for a fucking couple $100, you know, let alone have to worry about, you know, spending $1,000 on a re-sleeve. So I definitely think the G23 is the way to go, and I still think, and I definitely believe the G23 or the G22 would definitely be the way to go if you want to boost. Like if you want to boost without having to worry about the sleeve issue, those are definitely the way to go, because I would say that the F22 and the F23 sleeves are capable, just like the D and B brothers and cousins that they have, that they're all the way up to 500 horsepower. So I think that's enough meat and potatoes right there to cover that topic. Again, I'll leave the link for this fucking article, or this story from Super Street, in the description below. And also, On a side note here, I want to add a little bit of shit. I kind of like rushed through the H23 video earlier. I didn't say my normal message to you guys. You guys feel free to hit me up if you got questions or whatnot. All my social media shit is in the description below. Snapchat has kind of been like a thing that's been popping for me lately. You know, it gives me a way of looking on you guys without having to worry about following anybody. It's, you know, if you know Snapchat, you know, it's a lot easier to handle and to digest than like Facebook is, because if you got Facebook, everybody has at least a couple hundred friends, and you got like timelines and shit that are constantly flowing by. It's easier for me to follow you guys back on Snapchat than it would be on the rest of my social media, because I have a couple of you guys that, you know, found me somehow on Facebook, and I generally add people if I think you know, if you're from here or whatnot. But the thing is, you'll talk to me there, and or I won't even know who the fuck you are, really. So Snapchat's easier. If I see car shit in the story, I tend to peek in on it. And for the most part, I don't generally put too much personal shit on Snapchat. Usually it's business towards the channel. And when I do video updates on Snapchat and my stories, it's usually business for the channel. And I'm no longer going to be carrying my Snapchat stories over to Facebook, though I may still do it on Twitter. Not sure, because my Twitter is still dead. All right, so and one more little bit of news I have here before I wrap this video up is that I have been hit up by somebody local about a Vitara build, and I've been talking to you guys. I think probably I think it's safe to say for the last 5-6 months, saying that the first person to send me an engine, or anybody local that's nearby, I'll do a free build for. Now it'd be a one-time fucking thing, but I'm down to do that. And again, it's because I would, especially the Vitara, because that would give me an engine that I really want to build for the channel here. So that would, you know, kind of pay for itself on that. You know, as much as I'd like to get the extra money, as much as I need to get the extra money so I can finish my Integra, I'll fucking bite the bullet on this. Why? Mainly, I'm hoping this shit works out properly, because as far as I know, my surrounding area between Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia, there's only one guy that I hear come up on a regular basis for Honda builds, and this dude's name is Jarvis. He's like mad science of tuning or whatnot. He tunes and builds cars around here, but because he's the only guy that's popular for this shit, he's always swamped with work. So I'm not trying to undercut a local business or whatever, but if I can every once in a while get a fucking engine built through here, that would be great. You know, it'd be great for the channel as well as my pockets. So I'm willing to bite the bullet here, do a free build, and hopefully I get word of mouth from this one guy to where every once in a while I get an extra engine build. It's not something I want to be doing back to back all the time, because I like my free time, which I have very little of. But if I can, you know, I would definitely welcome the extra flow. Plus, it would bring extra engines here to the channel that I wouldn't have to be paying for, and all that good stuff. All right, so I haven't decided what the next video is going to be yet. I can't 100% promise it's going to be H23 related. It might be something else. I might splice in something random, whatever comes to head that I decide I want to do, honestly. But I'll try to give a heads up before it comes out, so that way you guys know what to expect. And also, one more thing that I wanted to talk about too is that there is a chance that you guys might see, you guys might see like something more personal coming from me. There's something I've decided that I kind of want to talk about. I'm not going to do it right now, but it will probably be soon, and it's not going to be car related at all. It'll just be one of those miscellaneous videos I put out, you know. When that time comes, if I do that video, I'll let everybody know ahead of time that it's not car related. It's just going to be something personal for me. And because it's YouTube, you know, it doesn't have to be any one particular plan. I don't have a production manager. I can do whatever the fuck I want. So, but what to make up for that, when that video does drop, it'll be like an extra thing. I will have car shit like before and after it during that week, to make sure that the only thing I upload isn't something like that, because I don't want to fucking make people think that this is all I'm going to be doing now, or that I'm going to be doing random shit. I just may do something random like that from time to time. Alright guys, so yeah, I think I'm getting close to, like, I've almost added half again the video, and it's not even on the topic anymore. I guess I'll leave timestamps in there to let you guys know that it gets to be kind of newsy after the main topic. But yeah, if you did watch this long, I appreciate it. You know, I do feel that if I add something like this on the video, it's important. If not, if it wasn't super important to me, I would have just said it on Facebook. But this is the one way I can guarantee getting out to the most people. So this is the way I decided to add this little news information in. And I appreciate you guys for sticking around and watching. And peace. I'll see y'all later.